I'm Tim from CDK Stone, and welcome to another episode of our designer collaboration series, where we take the opportunity to speak to some of the incredible people behind some amazing projects. And today we are here in the brand new Jardan furniture showroom in Byron Bay, and I'm joined by Iva from If Architecture. Welcome, Iva.
Thank you, Tim. Thanks for having me.
Before we get into this incredible project, would you mind telling us a little bit about your studio?
Absolutely. We're a studio of 5. We're a small team. We're based in Melbourne, but we do a lot of work in Victoria as well as nationally around the country. We focus on residential, commercial and hospitality work.
And we are here in the brand new showroom in Byron Bay, the Jardan Furniture Showroom. Would you mind telling us a little bit about this project and some of the other showrooms that you've worked on as well?
Yeah, absolutely. We have been working with Jardan for about 10 years or so, and we've had a hand in all of the showrooms that they have around Australia. We started working with them, and the big flagship showroom in Melbourne was really the first one to come forward. And with that, we were looking at iconic Australian homes. Then we went to Sydney and we were inspired by iconic Australian families. And then in Perth, most recently, we were looking at this beautiful phenomena that happens sort of on the desert highways of Western Australia, which is beautiful native flowers that come into bloom in spring. So wildflowers that come into bloom, and that was the inspiration for our Perth showroom.
And in terms of the inspiration for this new showroom here in Byron Bay, could you talk us through that?
Yeah, well, the owners of Jardan have always really loved the Byron and the sort of promise of Byron being aligned with people's energies and being a very sort of spiritual place. And they've always loved the coast, and Jardan furniture is very much inspired by the Australian lifestyle. And so I think really coming to Byron was like a spiritual coming home for the brand. And so it's been wonderful to see this come to life.
Yeah, and it's an incredible space you've designed here, and there's a lot of beautiful design elements in here, but one of them is the beautiful Patagonia from CDK Stone. Was this the original stone selection that you chose?
Yes, it was. It was in the first concept renders that we presented to the clients. It was always a hero feature within the space, and from that first moment it has never deviated from the Patagonia. It was always our first love.
And was there a specific reason why? Was it the colours or the veining?
It really is like a work of art. The slabs are so unique and so beautiful, and we loved the sort of big veining and the quartz that runs through the slabs, and we just thought it would bring a really lovely natural earthiness to the showroom as well.
Yeah, and in terms of the selection process and working with CDK Stone, how did you find that all?
Brilliant. It was really fantastic from the first moment when we received the images of the slabs to then working with the stonemason and the cutting list, and then being able to use those images to transfer to the cutting list and really understand then where the actual portions of the slab were being attributed to. It was fantastic, and it's literally as it was modelled.
Yeah, so having the exact slab photos of every single slab and being able to put that into your design and then see it almost perfectly being replicated in the construction, that must have been a huge feature as well.
Absolutely. From the showroom, you can see how the elements with the Patagonia are full slabs, faces, tops, faces, sides. So it was really important to have that confidence that the slabs would be represented in the way that we envisaged them to be, and they are.
And it works so nicely with some of the other features you have in this showroom. One I noticed in particular was the ceiling. Would you mind telling us a little bit about this incredible ceiling?
Oh, thank you. Yes, there's some incredible features within the space, including two very high voids. And as then sort of a contrast to that, we've selected this beautiful mother of pearl paint from Porter's Paint. And it has a beautiful hand-painted finish to it, which has quite a bit of movement. I'm doing the gestures. And it has a beautiful warmth and texture to it as well. And so I think it's very complementary to all the other textures within the space.
Yeah, and in terms of the difference between designing a residential space compared to a commercial space, what are some of the main design elements that you need to consider?
Well, we really want to get to know the brand as much as possible. Similarly, with a residential project, you want to get to know the family as much as possible and understand that you're designing for them. But with a brand, and a brand as strong as Jardan, you really want to understand their values, their brand values, and their brand DNA, and to be able to bring that to the space, and so it feels authentic and genuine.
In terms of current design trends, are you noticing any trends specifically with natural stone in your designs?
We're loving the bolder, brighter, more vibrant colours in some of the slabs that we're seeing. It's so different to the years past when it was a lot more neutrals and more subdued slabs, whereas now the colour and the vibrancy we're really loving. We're also really loving that you can do so many things with stone that you haven't been able to do in the past, and really manipulate the slabs and use blocks to get unique forms and shapes, or like in this project, be able to have draw faces and beautiful mitered edges, and just really have this amazing detail that hasn't always been so available.
Yeah, and that's certainly one thing I've noticed in this commercial space here is the level of detail, and that's probably something you're incredibly proud of, and you've done an amazing job.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
And thanks for joining us on another episode of our designer collaboration series.